Oh man, it's about 1:30 p.m. West Coast time on Thursday, January, 15th. And I had to come into the city and do some stuff. Oh, right there, that church on the right is where they have the roller disco. I'm driving up Fillmore. I'm heading north. And so I thought I would turn my camera on and drive through the city and show you guys the city a little bit. Just Fillmore Street. I mean, just look up a Wikipedia page for Fillmore Street in San Francisco. The history of this street and the multiracial history of this street. In the first part of the 20th century, the 1900s, the section of Fillmore Street that I'm heading into was almost like a precursor to Japantown. It was very, very, very heavily populated with Japanese Americans who were then all abducted and put in internment camps during World War II. We're just past Fulton Street. I think we're coming up on McAllister. And following World War II, this section of Fillmore that I'm on right now became an epicenter for the African Americans, the black population in San Francisco. And I'm sitting at the intersection of Fillmore and Golden Gate right now. And in front of me is one of those little food delivery scooter guys that have permeated every crack and crevice of this city and disobey traffic laws with an enthusiasm and regularity that is hard to describe, and have caused people like me to have a severe dislike of most of them. They're just fucking lunatics, and they don't care at all for their own safety or the safety of others. But, I digress. Fillmore and Turk. Yeah, this is a great neighborhood, man. And, big neighborhood for jazz. Yoshi's coming up here on the right, unfortunately closed a few years ago. I think they've turned it into a community center. But every summer, like right in here is where they have the Fillmore Jazz Center, or the Fillmore Jazz Festival. And I've come to that several times, and it's just incredible, man. It's just amazing. The street festivals that San Francisco has are utterly unparalleled. But, it's such an amazing city with culturally relevant stuff, and this city values stuff like that. It's one of my favorite things about San Francisco. Coming up here on the left is the Fillmore, the music hall that dates back a long, long time. Every huge band in the 60s, 70s played there. Tremendous history in the Fillmore Music Hall. I have not gotten to play there yet. Although, I take that back. I played in their upper room where you can get food. They haven't quite made it to the main stage yet. All right, so here we are, Fillmore and Geary. We're kind of on the outskirts of Japantown to the right. Right there on the left is the Boom Boom Room, legendary blues R&B club. It is just fantastic. Recently reopened. I absolutely love that it recently reopened. They got shut down for a while during COVID, and that was a huge loss during that period of time. But the Boom Boom Room is back up and running. Thank God. One of my favorite things about this city is, even in these densely populated urban streets, is the incredible trees in San Francisco. And you can see an example of that right here, man. They almost form a complete canopy over the street, and they got to trim them up for the overhead bus wires. Coming up on Fillmore and Sutter. So we're gently easing our way towards where the fancy people on Fillmore live, kind of in the Pack Heights area and range of things. Yeah, you can see right there on the left in the middle of the screen, there's a banner for the Fillmore Jazz Festival. Not coming up for a few more months yet, but this whole stretch of Fillmore, man, it's just incredible shops and cafes and restaurants and bars. This is one of the parts of the city that, you know, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, it's just incredible amounts of foot traffic along here with people out just taking in the neighborhood, man, and everything that comes with it. And just an amazing San Francisco neighborhood. You can see some of the examples of the Victorian architecture that's still floating about here and there. Just went past Woodhouse Fish Company, an amazing seafood restaurant. But, you know, it's the middle of January. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful day. The sun is out. I don't even need a jacket today. And that is one of the main reasons why I live in California. Just what an incredible day. Here's some more trees coming up, some more architecture. Past Sacramento Street right now. We just passed California Street. This stretch right here is almost all restaurants, and a lot of them are just absolutely phenomenal. Palmer's on the right, dining and cocktails. I've been there many times. And plus, you know, I like to take advantage of an opportunity just to give you guys some kind of an idea of the flavor of what it's like just to drive around in San Francisco. So we're starting to climb up the hill. Fillmore, once we hit the peak, start going down the other side here in a few blocks, you'll get to see what we call the Fillmore Hill. It is a steep descent, a very steep descent. Right there on the left, in the center, is one of San Francisco's old kind of Art Deco apartment buildings. I had a very good friend who lived in that building many years ago. In the center, you can see Tiburon across the bay. And we're starting to come to the downhill portion of our video this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Right now I'm on Fillmore at Broadway. This is definitely where the fancy people live. And check out that view. And we go down. This is why, when you live in San Francisco, it is wise and reasonable to frequently have your front brakes inspected, because they get a lot of use in this town. So that's Vallejo. Down the street to my left is what we refer to as Billionaires Row. A lot of assholes live on that street, like David Sachs. from the All In podcast, who's currently Donald Trump's crypto czar, one of the PayPal mafia guys, and a general all-around complete and utter douchebag of a human being. Union Street's a fantastic street, man. There's always so much going on Union Street. It's freaking awesome. We're at Filbert. If you go to the right, you can go all the way up and make your way to the Filbert Steps. And there is a Waymo driverless car. Which is... people get freaked out about those. The majority of users of Waymo cars are women. And that is because I believe the stat for Uber that I learned in some of the cases that I did when I was still practicing is that across the United States, every 8 seconds, a woman gets raped by an Uber driver. So that's something important to keep in mind when you're calling an Uber at 2:30 in the morning. This is Lombard Street. If you go to the right, it will take you up a hill, and then you can go down that curvy section of Lombard that is very famous. I feel like I should have passengers with me, you know, like I'm driving one of those buses that gets filled with tourists. And I'm just kind of narrating my drive around the city. We're just waiting on some pedestrians here. So I'm just going to leave this roll for a few minutes because Lombard Street, heading in this direction, west, is what takes us to the Golden Gate Bridge. And so we'll go across the Golden Gate Bridge this afternoon. But this is kind of like Cal Hollow, the Marina neighborhood. The Marina is to my right, like the Marina Green, where all the boat slips and the boat docks are, right smack on the bay. Just an absolutely stunningly beautiful area. Also to my right, a little bit up here, is going to be the Palace of Fine Arts. I did a video from there a few weeks ago. That was pretty awesome on another absolutely stunningly beautiful sunny day, such as today. But yeah, we had a solid week of heavy rain last week, and this is why there's no left turn here, ladies. But what are you gonna do? And so the last few days and for the next 8 or 9 days, it's going to be like this. It's going to be sunny and beautiful in the 60s and just fantastic weather. Let's see if we can get a little road rage going on here. Divisadero, that's another north-south main thoroughfare that takes you down to like the Upper Haight and the Lower Haight. That's kind of the dividing line between the Upper Haight and the Lower Haight. On Haight Street, the Upper Haight, for the last week or so, has had massive crowds out in the streets because bands have been kind of spontaneously erupting on sidewalks to play the music of the Grateful Dead, given the death of Bob Weir, one of the co-founders of the Grateful Dead, with Jerry Garcia. It was never my kind of scene, that band or that whole thing. But, you know, to not recognize the impact of the Grateful Dead on American music and the impact of Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir and Phil Lesh and the other guys in that band, Mickey Hart, you're just a dickhead, you know? If you can't recognize the impact that band and those individuals had on American music, you're just being a douchebag, even if you don't like their music. So here's where Lombard kind of skirts the edge of the Presidio, which is to my right. Right down there, or to my left, right down there to my right is where the Palace of Fine Arts is. And then we start to see the Golden Gate Bridge and the Marin headlands come into view. And this will, right here, is going to be the most boring part of the drive. Because it's just freeway, you know? Freeways are kind of boring. So, a few years ago, these two tunnels were built, and this one, and there's one right next to it. Come to my right here is Crissy Field and Fort Point at the base of the Golden Gate Bridge. But San Francisco fortunately decided to build two absolutely incredible parks on top of those, on top of these tunnels. And they're just called the Tunnel Top Parks, and they are absolutely stunning, and just with utter panoramic views of the Golden Gate Bridge, the bay, the Marin Headlands, Tiburon, Belvedere, Angel Island, the Bay Bridge, and Oakland and Alameda, Oakland Hills and the Berkeley Hills. But just really awesome stuff. A couple of old men and Porsches with their tops down. I wouldn't mind having one of those. That'd be a cool car to have. Marin Headlands and the Bridge Toll Plaza. The bridge is going to be coming right up around this bend. But right about now, you know, when I'm heading back to Marin, where I'm like, thank God I escaped all of the unbelievable crime and drugs and human fecal matter all over the streets and sidewalks of the city. There's the South Tower. As we go across the bridge, we can see the North Tower coming up. Amazing privilege to be able to drive across this bridge a couple times a week, man.
Incoming call. Press the pickup button to answer.
Sorry, I had an incoming call that was mucking things up. So there's the North Tower, and we're coming across to the Marin side of the bridge. To my right is Alcatraz and Angel Island and Belvedere and Tiburon and Sausalito and Cavallo Point, which is at the base of the north end of the bridge. It's a former military installation that gets overlooked a lot, but you know, there are a bunch of boat slips down there and sailboats, and some really incredible restaurants down there. I had dinner with Laughter and Light down there a few months ago when she was getting ready to depart our fair city to go move to Chicago and live with her wonderful, amazing, and intelligent husband, Dr. Rubin, who has done so much to both of them have done so much to educate us on medical stuff over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm eternally grateful for them. So once you get across the bridge, you start climbing up a bit. We just passed the exit to the south end of Sausalito. Start climbing your way upward. And we make our way to the Robin Williams Tunnel. Down that hill to my right is Sausalito. can't see right now. But we can see a lot of the eucalyptus trees that smell absolutely amazing every time you drive through here. And yeah, Marin hillsides, man. If you got to drive on a freeway, it's nice to have this kind of scenery on both sides, you know. And that is going to wrap up this video. I hope everybody has an amazing and fun and safe weekend. Don't talk to the cops. If you want to talk to an ICE agent, tell them to fuck off, and their father never loved them and was always and remains disappointed in them as a person and as a man. I think those are the kinds of insults we need to be throwing at these motherfuckers. Oh wait, there's one thing. That is Mount Tamalpais. We call it Mount Tam out here. It's kind of the centerpiece of southern Marin County. So much cool shit on Mount Tam. Bob Weir from the Grateful Dead used to live on Mount Tam in Mill Valley, and I lived just down the hill from him, about a mile. Sammy Hagar lived in that neighborhood too. That's probably 15 years ago. So anyway, hope everybody has a great weekend, man. Be safe.